All right. Good evening, students. I hope you are able to hear me. If you are able to hear me, you can press yes. Finally, we are back to our evening class. Anush, good evening. Abhishek, Naren, Raksha, Bhumika, Naren, Vidyashri, Pranav. Pranav, basically, my phone was hanging. That was the problem. So it automatically got switched off. That's why the meeting got ended. Good evening, Sonali. Good evening, Tejas. Yes. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, Namrata. That's not in my hand, Dhanush. Pranav, that's the reason. No, my phone got hanged and I automatically got disconnected. All right. So I hope you are able to hear me. Now everything is sorted. Yes. How many of you seen this movie? Kiya tha Pritesh, I did that. So how many of you have seen this movie? If you have seen this movie, you must recall. Yes, Babu Rao. I was talking about both the movies are the famous ones, Sparta 300 and this one is Fir Hera Fairy. If you haven't seen this movie, definitely you should see. It's quite a fun. Sorry, Hera Fairy. It's from Hera Fairy. Its sequel was Fir Hera Fairy. Yes, correct. So now why this meme you must have understood, why we are coming to this, why we are discussing this. Yes, it's probably one of the best comic movies of our country. All right. So without much delay, let's start our class. Right? All right. So can anybody recall what did we study in last class? Anyone? Can anyone recall what did we study in last class? Yes. Anyone who can recall? Yes. Till density of compound or denticity of compound? Till denticity of compound. Correct. Coordination and EDD. So we were discussing different terms in coordination complex, right? So I guess the last thing we had discussed was denticity of ligand. What is denticity of ligand? What was the definition I gave you for denticity of ligand? What was the definition which I gave you for denticity of ligand? Don't just see this definition. I had given you separate definition. What was the denticity of ligand? It is total number of lone pair donated by one ligand. One ligand is donating how many lone pairs? That is called its denticity. Monodentate ligand will donate one lone pair. Bidentate ligand will donate two lone pair. Tridentate will donate three lone pair, and so on. Right? Is that clear? Everyone? All right. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of OR? Total lone pair, right? There is a metal atom. I hope your festivals went very good. There is a metal atom, ligand donate lone pair and form a coordinate bond. So one ligand donate how many lone pair? That is its denticity. Can you tell me number of lone pair accepted by? There will be lot of ligands donating lone pair. Lot of ligands will be donating lone pair. Number of lone pair accepted by central metal atom. Total number of lone pair of electron accepted by central metal atom is known as what? Is known as what? Very good. Is known as coordination number. Right. Yes, very good. So it is known as coordination number. You should not confuse these two definitions. They are very important. Right? Chalo, let's move ahead. Any doubt from last class? Anyone? Any doubt? Yes, Abhishek, you are also right. Anyone having any doubt from last class? All right. Actually, we haven't done many things in this chapter yet. We have done basic. Yeah. So let's do a recall test then. we had discussed oxidation state also. So can you calculate the oxidation state of chromium here? Calculate the oxidation state of chromium in this compound and quickly vote your answer, whatever you get. Let me give you the options. Yes. I hope all of you had your tea, your snacks, so you have enough energy inside you to answer all these questions. Very good, Pritesh. All right. I think I'm getting most of the correct answers only. I can see all your messages, beta. Yes, Vijayalakshmi, I can see your text. Got it. So I'll give you another 10 seconds to vote this. If you haven't voted, please vote fast. If you have not voted yet, please vote fast. This is an easy one. Don't do this wrong. Yes. This is chapter will lead lot of classes, Meghna. This is a very big chapter actually. Right. So I'll tell you the exact number of classes tomorrow. All right. So let's end this on account of 3, 2, 1. Now. So we are ending it now. Yes. Very good. So if you check this, if you check the oxidation state of chromium, before you do that, you need to find the charge on complexes, right? So how do you find the charge on complex? So since you have 2 here, you have 1 here. If you cross multiply, you'll get a +1 here and you'll get a -2 charge on your complete anion. This whole is your anion. So what is your anion? Your anion is Cr H2O whole twice Br4 -2. Let us say oxidation state of chromium is X. Water is a neutral ligand or charged ligand? Water is a neutral ligand or charged ligand? Anyone? Water is a neutral ligand or charged ligand? It's a neutral ligand. So 2 into 0 plus. What is the charge on bromine? What is the charge on bromine? Anyone? Very good. Bromine is not neutral, Athar. Bromine is Br minus. So 4 into -1. 1 bromine carry -1 charge. So 4 bromine will carry 4 into -1. Charge of chromium plus water plus bromine should be equal to -2. So this, if you equate it equal to -2, so your x minus 4 is equals to -2. X is equals to 4 minus 2, which is +2. So your correct answer is D, which I guess you can see in the results. Many of you have answered B, but there are a lot of you who have answered C and D. So I hope your doubt is clear. Those who have answered C and D, is it clear now? Those who have answered C and D, is it clear now? So many of you had voted C and D, right? So I'm hoping those who have answered C and D, it is clear to them, right? All right. So let's move towards our today's class, which is very important one, right? So we have to discuss another class of ligands called ambidentate ligand, right? So see, these definitions are very close. You'll get 1 mark definition in your board exam also. These definitions are very close. So you might get confused, you might get deviated from the right definition. So please pay attention and listen. What does it mean? It means, what does it actually mean? It means ambidentate ligands are the ligands which are unidentate. What does unidentate mean? I don't know, Rohit. I was just informed. So what does unidentate ligand mean? Anyone? Very good, Pratish. Unidentate ligand means the ligand which donate one lone pair. So ambidentate ligand are those ligands which donate one lone pair of electrons, but they can donate one lone pair of electrons from more than one atom, right? So where there are two donor atoms in a unidentate ligand, the ligands which have two donor atoms in a unidentate ligand, that means there are two donor sides, but at a time, how many lone pair will be donated? Only one, right? So one lone pair can be donated sometimes from this atom, sometimes from this atom of the ligand. Then that ligand is called ambidentate ligand. Then either of the two ligands can donate electrons to central atom, right? I'll give you an example of it. Or in short, if I want to write the definition, I would write monodentate ligand, mono or unidentate ligand, which can donate lone pair, from more than one atom. From more than one atom are called ambidentate ligand. I will explain you through example. If I take NO2, in NO2, this is your structure of NO2, nitrogen can donate lone pair, and in the same NO2, this oxygen can also donate lone pair, correct? If nitrogen donate lone pair, it is known as nitro. This will be corrected, just give me a minute. This will be named as nitro. If nitrogen donates lone pair, it is known as nitro. And if this oxygen donates lone pair and acts as ligand in NO2 molecule, then it is known as nitrito. That means same molecule, sometimes nitrogen can donate lone pair, sometimes oxygen can donate lone pair. But how many lone pair they will donate? Only one. They are donating only one lone pair. So they are monodentate ligand because they are donating one lone pair, but they can donate from different atoms of the same molecule, right? Then they are known as ambidentate ligand, right? Yes, this will be atom. Is that clear, everyone? Sahana, is the definition clear now? The ligand which can donate one lone pair but from different atoms is known as ambidentate ligand. Is this clear, guys? Everyone? The other example is SCN, right? SCN. So if you donate lone pair from sulfur, right? This is also correct. I'll tell you why it is correct. Okay. If the lone pair is donated from sulfur, then it is known as thiocyanato. And if the lone pair is donated instead of sulfur from nitrogen, if you donate lone pair from nitrogen, right, then it is known as isothiocyanato. Isothiocyanato. So if it is donated from sulfur, then thiocyanato. If lone pair is donated by nitrogen, then isothiocyanato. But if you don't want to write different names, you can simply write thiocyanato bonding through sulfur, thiocyanato bonding through nitrogen. That will also indicate. Either you can write isothiocyanato, ligand, or if you don't want to write different ligand, you write same ligand, thiocyanato. Sulfur means bonding is through sulfur, nitrogen means bonding is through nitrogen. Both the naming is correct. There is nothing wrong in any naming. Similarly here, if the bonding is through nitrogen, if it is through oxygen, nitrito, you can use nitrito. But if you don't want to use two different names, you can write nitro or nitrito. N indicates bonding through nitrogen. O indicates bonding through oxygen. Correct? Is that clear? So what I said, I'll repeat again. KV Chetan, here sulfur is donating lone pair, so it is thiocyanato, right? It is known as thiocyanato ligand. And if in the same ligand nitrogen donate lone pair, NCS donate lone pair, then it will be known as isothiocyanato. Is that clear, KV Chetan now? Basically here sulfur will donate lone pair, then thiocyanato. If nitrogen donate lone pair, isothiocyanato. Correct? Is this is a part of IPSC? Not yet. We are just classifying the ligand. Right? Thiocyanato is the name of ligand. Correct? The way nitro is the name of ligand, similarly thiocyanato is the name of ligand. Right? Now similarly, if you take CN, in CN if bonding takes place through carbon, then it is cyano. And if bonding takes place through nitrogen, then it is named as isocyano. Is that clear, everyone? These are the examples of ambidentate ligand. You'll get this definition for 1 mark in your board exam. You have to write one example. The easiest example to write is CN. Easiest example to write in exam is CN. Is this clear, everyone? Any doubt in this? Please ask quickly. If there is any doubt in this, please ask quickly. And if there is no doubt, you can press right. Does carbon has lone pair of electron? Yes, of course it has. Why it will not have? Of course it has. Adesh, why it will not have? What is your CN? How is CN formed? Adesh? Single bond, double bond, third bond is a date bond. Adesh. Why cyno C and cyno N? You can write that also, Ravi Kiran. That will not be considered as wrong. It can be written as cyno C, cyno N. You can write that, Ravi Kiran. Both are correct. Right? Is this clear, everyone? So I see no doubts. Either there are a lot of doubts or there is no doubt. So I'll ask randomly anyone. So Prajwal T, is it clear, beta? Prajwal T, Pranav Shiv Kumar, is it clear? Then why not nitrito case? Why not nitrito case means? Nitrito maybe you are doing same thing, no? Nitrito N, nitrito O. Athar, your doubt is incomplete, beta. Why not nitrito case means what? You are asking in which reference? Your question is in which reference? Regarding which thing you are asking? You have just written one statement which has no meaning. Yes, Athar, please quickly respond. Why not name? What name, Athar? He is telling why is not iso. Nitrito, they are different names, then why do you need iso? Why do you need iso if the names are only different? The ligand's name is itself different. You don't need iso in their name. You can write that also, Athar. There is nothing like nitrito only you have to write. You can write nitro N, nitro O. You can write that also. There is nothing limitation here. You can write this also, Athar. That will also be considered correct. All right. So I'm moving ahead, assuming you guys have understood this. So let's do this as homework. We'll discuss this. This is a homework for you. This is a critical one. So you need to apply a little bit brain in this. Then you can get this right. Right? So you have to find the oxidation state of iron in this complex. We have already done one question of like this in recall test. So this you will do it as a homework. You can take a screenshot if you want. Then instruction now, nitrogen has lone pair and has single electron, or are CN and NC different? Of course, they are different ligand. Adesh, CN and NC are different ligands. Of course, they are different ligands, right? Pritesh, you should think and answer. You should not answer in hurry, guys. This is a special complex. If you have done this test in lab, you must have seen this complex, right? Along with this, you do this compound also. Along with this, you find the oxidation state of this compound also. FeH2O5 NO 2 plus. Find the oxidation state of iron in this compound also. This is your job, right? This is not NOS, Shreya, beta. It is not NOS. It is NO, separate ligand, sulfide, separate ligand. Both the ligands are kept together. Both the ligands are kept together, Shreya. So these are your two homeworks. Now, can anybody recall this compound? All of you have done this in lab. Yes, Ashutosh is right. Have you seen this compound anywhere in lab? No, guys, just to give you a clear indication, NOS is not a ligand. NOS is not a ligand. Let me clear it. NOS is not a ligand. Right? So NO is a separate ligand. Sulfide is a separate ligand. These two are different ligands. Okay? Yes, Darshan is also right. That's right. Maybe they should have written it like this. Actually, right? NOS is not a combined ligand. All right. So this, just to give you idea about it, it's a brown ring test which you do in lab. It's a brown ring complex. So brown ring test which you do, the brown ring color in test for nitrate, the brown ring test which you do for nitrate is due to this compound. This compound gives yellow, brown ring color to the complex. So your job is to find oxidation state in this compound iron and in this compound iron. That is your job. Okay? And just to give you this idea, which is this complex, this is used in test for sulfide ion. You will do it in second year most likely, called sodium nitroprusside test. I think I have done this in organic. Sodium nitroprusside test. Okay? So these two complexes are very important. That's why I have given you this as homework. You will definitely get it in some exam for sure. So try to find their oxidation states. Now let me move towards our next question, which we will discuss. Slightly critical one. So please use your top floor to answer this. Please use your top floor carefully to answer this. I am raising the options for you. Just a minute. Let me give you the options. Yes. You can start voting for it now. It's violet. The complex which I have given you, Pranav, is violet. Right. Just a minute, guys. I'll have some water. All right. So you have last 5 seconds to vote this. I still see many of you have not voted. This is slightly confusing statements. Very good, Rajanandan. Pranav, okay. All right. Pritesh, check again. These kind of statement-based questions are very important. Yes. Very good, Ashutosh. All right. So let me end this on account of 3, 2, 1. Now. This is quite interesting one. Dekho. So let us go option by option, right? Since it's a quite, see, that's what happens in an easy exam. Statement-based questions, but tricky questions. See this. Most metal ions exhibit single characteristic coordination number. Is it true or false? Rohit, can you tell me what sound it is? Most metal ions exhibit only a single coordination number. That means cobalt will exhibit only coordination number 6. Is it true or false? It's of course false, because same metal can sometimes exhibit, if ligands are donating 4 lone pairs, then it will show 4 coordination number. If ligands are donating 6 lone pair, it will show 6. If ligands are donating 8 lone pair, it will show 8. That depends on ligand. Metal do not have a fixed coordination number, right? All right, just a minute, guys. My voice is coming double. Just a minute. Is it fine now? Is it fine now, everyone? There is a slight disturbance. I can understand now why it was so. All right. So, obviously, statement 1 is wrong. What about statement 2? Coordination number is equal to number of ligands bonded to the metal atom. True or false? Statement 2. I had already told you this thing in class. If you have listened to the class properly, I had told you this statement. This is a biggest misconception which students have. This is a false statement. This is a false statement. I had told you this. Coordination number is not equal to number of ligands. This is wrong. Why it is wrong? Why it is wrong? Yes, very good. I had told you one ligand can donate more than one lone pair. More than one lone pair. One ligand can donate more than one lone pair. For example, I give you cobalt EnCl2. -4. If you take this complex, what will be the coordination number? If you go by this definition, then it is one ligand, two ligand. Coordination number is 3. But that is wrong. The coordination number in this is not equal to 3. It is not equal to sum of ligands. Why? Coordination number here is 4. Why 4? 1 Cl donates 1 lone pair. 2 Cl donates 2 lone pair. Ethylene diamine is a symbol of ethylene diamine. What is ethylene diamine? CH2, CH2, NH2, NH2. This is your ethylene diamine. This is one ligand. This can donate lone pair, nitrogen. This nitrogen can also donate lone pair. So this one ligand is a bidentate ligand. It's a bidentate ligand. Means it donates two lone pairs. So if we donate two lone pairs, we can write 1E and donate two lone pairs. Total, how many lone pairs are donated? 2 plus 2. 4 lone pairs are donated. That means coordination number is 4, not 3. So that is the reason the option B is wrong. Correct? Some disturbance in my voice. Just give me 1 minute. Let me check this. It should not be. Is it fine now, guys? Is it fine now, everyone? Is the voice clear now? Yes, everyone. Is the voice clear now? Right. Chalo, let's quickly review. Right. So the second option is wrong. I had told you number of ligand is not equal to coordination number because one ligand can donate more than one lone pair. So coordination number is number of lone pair accepted by the central metal atom. What about statement 3? What about statement 3? It is C. It is correct or wrong? Statement C, is it correct or wrong? Anyone? What about statement C? Is it correct or wrong? Very crucial. Let us see. Coordination number is determined by the tendency to surround the metal atom with the same number of ligands as one of the rare gases. Yes, Pratik, this is a very critical statement. Now, it is trying to say the coordination number is determined solely by the tendency of ligands to surround the metal atom with the same number of electrons as the rare gases. It is trying to say the coordination number depends upon how many ligands will come around, to complete the octet of central metal atom. That is what it is trying to say. But that is not true, right? Tendency to surround the metal atom with the same number of electrons as one of the rare gases, right? So that is not a true statement. Why it is not a true statement? Because the metals may or may not have a configuration of your noble gases, right? And metals do not get total electrons to complete octet only from ligand. Okay, I'll give you a few examples in future, not now. So ligands donate lone pair, right? But sometimes metal also share electrons from other metal atoms. So it is not only the ligand which donates electrons to metal atom to complete their octet. Sometimes metal also share electrons from other metal atoms, right? So it is not just the tendency of the ligand which decides the coordination number. Sometimes the metal atom also decides the coordination. Right? Size of the metal atom also decides the coordination. Sometimes metal may not have complete octet. Sometimes it may have more than octet. So is it always possible to have complete octet of metal atom? Answer is no. Right? That is the reason the statement is wrong. The statement D is for most cations, coordination number depends upon size and charge of cation. This is 100% correct. Why it is a correct statement? If your metal is small, it will have less ligands on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. If your metal is large, it can have more ligands on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many ligands will come and donate lone pair depends on the size of the metal, right? And charge of the metal, because charge is something by which it will attract electrons from ligand. Correct? Is this clear, everyone? The correct answer is D. Is this question clear to everyone? The correct answer is D. D is the correct statement. Okay, so these kind of questions, when it comes, the right approach is think about all 4 options carefully. Do not just see one option and see, this is looking true, let's mark it. Check every option. That's the... Yes, Pritesh, C is quite obvious, Pritesh. She is saying that ligand's tendency to come and complete the octet of metal atom will decide its coordination number. It's a wrong statement, because sometimes metal may not have complete octet. Still it may be stable. May not have complete rare gas configuration like 18, 36, right, 54. Metal may not have any of these electrons. Still it may be stable. So it is not necessary to attain a rare gas configuration. So ligands surrounding the metal atom to give you complete rare gas configuration is not the reason to decide the coordination number. Coordination number depends upon size. For example, if you have a small atom, it requires 6 ligands to complete octet. It will not have 6 ligands. It will have 4 only, because its size does not allow it to have a 6 ligand. Correct? So I want 20 electrons to complete my rare gas, to attain noble gas configuration. But my capacity is to take 10 electron only. Will I take 20 electrons? No. That is what it is trying to say, Pritesh. Example, I have already given you, Pritesh, size ka you can take. Right? That examples I can give you only in the case of effective atomic number when we discuss this. Right? I'll give you those examples when we discuss effective atomic number. Okay? For now, I can only say you that metal may or may not have complete octet, complete noble gas configuration. Right? I have given you the best example. If you have a capacity of taking 10 electrons, you require 20 electrons to complete octet. Will you take 20? No. This ligand wants 6 lone pairs, right? But it can have only 4 ligands. So will its octet be complete? No. So how many ligands will come and donate lone pair here depends upon size of metal atom, right? So therefore, it may acquire noble gas configuration or it may not. Okay? We'll discuss the detail when we discuss effective atomic number. Most likely next class only, tomorrow. Okay? All right. So let's move ahead with our most important topic, that is rules for IUPAC nomenclature. This is very critical. Fixed 1 mark question in your boards. Fixed 1 mark or 2 mark depending upon how many examples they give. Right? It's a definite question in your board exam. It's a definite question in your JEE NEET exam. So please pay attention. Rules of IUPAC naming of coordination complex. So first rule, I'm writing it over here. Dekho, every book may you'll find different ways of naming it. I have my own set of rules. So follow it. There are if you go to books, they have many rules. But you try to follow what I'm trying to say. There are hardly 2-3 rules. If you know this, it's more than enough. Okay? So the first rule says, in a complex or in a coordination compound, it will have a cation as well as anion both. In a coordination compound, cation is always named first. Cation is always named first. This is the first rule. We always name cation first. Right? Now, can you tell me, I have already told you, a cation can be of 2 types. What can be the 2 types of cation? Can anybody repeat here? Can anybody recall what are the 2 types of cation which are possible? What are the 2 types of cation I had told you? Are ion nahi, 2 types of cation. Cation means positive charge. Ravi Kiran, what are the 2 types of cation? A cation can be of 2 types. Either it can be a simple cation or it can be a complex cation. I'll give you example of both of these. ठीक है. What is a simple cation and what is a complex cation? Complex cation is present inside a bracket. Inside a bracket. And simple cation is written outside the bracket. So whether your cation is simple or your cation is complex, you will always name your cation first, right? So I'll tell you how to name a simple cation. Example is K4FeCN6. Now you see here, all of you, every one of you, what is the charge? How do you find charge here? So how do you find charge here? This 4, if you cross multiply here, will come as -4 here. This 1, if you cross multiply here, will come as +1 here. Correct? So what are the ions you are going to get? You are going to get what ions? K plus, 4K plus, and FeCN6 -4. So here your complex is anionic and cation is simple, not present inside the bracket. Correct? Yes? So now in this compound, what will you name first? Cation. What is your cation? Cation is simple. So simple cation is named as such. Simple cation is named as such. Right? For example, if I want to name cation in this, I will simply write in the above complex, K will be written as simply potassium. It will be written as potassium. Is that clear? Simple cation is named as such without any change, without any problem, without anything. No modification required. And do not write it as tetrapotassium. Simple cation is named as such. Potassium. Simple. That's all. Is that clear, everyone? Now I'm going to give you an example of complex cation. If I write a complex like this, CONH3 whole 6 Cl2, right? We have to write simple cation first. Any cation is always named first, whether it is simple or complex, right? Cation is always named first, whether your cation is simple or whether your cation is complex. It is always named first. Now check this example. Here, what is your cation? How will you get your cation? This Cl2 will come here and become +2. This one will come here and become -1. So what are the ions you are going to get here? CONH3 whole 6, 2 plus and 2 Cl minus. So here your cation is simple or complex. Here your cation is simple or complex. Always we have to write simple cation first. Yes. Cobalt is not cation, sir, it is central metal atom. Your cation here is complex. So what will be named first? Chloride or your complex? What will you name first? You will name your complex first or chloride first? You will name your complex first because the rule says name cation first. And our cation is complex here, so we will name our complex. So we will name our complex first. So how to name a complex cation? How to name a complex cation? All of you please pay attention. To name a complex cation, let me take a next slide. To name a complex cation, follow the following rules. Right? Now in this complex, what do you see? What all is present in this complex? Can you see and tell me what all is present in this complex? You are wrong, Athar. What all is present in this complex? You are still wrong, Athar. What all is present in this complex? You have cobalt, which is your central metal atom. You have ligand, correct? You have ligand. So in a complex, you will have ligand, central metal atom. So the first question comes, which one should you name first? Either you will name ligand as first or you will name central metal atom first. Which one will you name first? Ligand or central metal atom? So the first rule here is ligands are named first. In complex, In complex, remember this, in complex, ligands are named first. Ligands are named first. Right? Correct? Now, second rule. If same ligand is repeated, then use prefix like di, tri, tetra, etc. For example, if Cl2 is present 2 times, you'll write dichlorido. If Cl is written as chloro or chlorido? Cl is written as chloro or chlorido? Cl is written as chloro or chlorido? Yo, Pritesh, chlorido. Pritesh, chlorido. Chalo, I will show you one very good image of this. There is something called IUPAC ka red book, which gives all these answers. I will show you that. I have one image of that. At the end of the class, I will show you. Red book. I'll show you. Chlorido. So if there are 2 times Cl present, Cl is repeated 2 times, you'll write dichlorido. 3 times trichlorido. 4 times tetrachlorido. Okay? So if same ligand is repeated more than 1 time, you'll write di, tri, tetra, etc. Correct? All right. Ligands meaning? Ligand, you don't know ligand, Siddharth? Ligand, Siddharth, which donate lone pair of electrons to central metal atom. Right. Now come to the next part. Right. Now come to the next part. If you have done this, then sometimes it happens if ligand contains di, tri, tetra in its name. For example, ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine is a ligand. If ethylene diamine is repeated 2 times, if ethylene diamine ligand is repeated 2 times, what will you say? If ethylene diamine ligand is repeated 2 times, what will you say? Diethylene diamine? No, that is where it is wrong. So if the ligand name itself includes di, tri, etc., then you cannot use prefix di, tri, tetra and all. Then use prefix if ligand contains di, tri, tetra in its name. Then use tris, bis for 2, tris for 3, tetrakis for 4, pentakis for 5, and so on. Is that clear? For example, if ethylene diamine, En is repeated 2 times, so I will not write diethylene diamine, I will write this ethylene diamine. Understood? Yes, I will not write diethylene diamine, I'll write this ethylene diamine. Right? Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? Yes, Mahavir. So it simply says if your ligand is simple, chlorido, cyanido, sulfato, acetato, oxalato, then if that ligand is repeated, simple ligands are repeated, then you use di, tri, tetra, penta, etc. But if your ligand name itself has di, tri in its name, if the ligand itself has di, tri, tetra in its name, and that ligand is repeated, then you cannot write prefix di, tri, tetra, etc. For example, ethylene diamine, if it is repeated 2 times, then you cannot write diethylene diamine, because di will come 2 times. You cannot write, right? So if ligand has di in its own name, then you cannot use prefix di. Then you have to use prefix bis, tris, tetrakis, pentakis, etc. Right? Go and ask IUPAC Pranav. They will give you a better answer to that. Right? So be careful about this. Now, The fourth thing, if more than one type of ligands are present, if more than one type of ligand is present, for example, Cl, Cn, NO2, all these ligands are present, then most important, name ligands in alphabetical order. You should name ligands in alphabetical order. For example, if you have bromine and chlorine, which will be named first? Bromo, bromido. If you have bromine, chlorine both together, which will be named first? Bromido, then chlorido. Because B comes before C. Correct? So bromido, then chlorido. Not chlorido, then bromido. Right? So alphabetical order of ligand is important. So these are the rules for naming ligands in complex. After ligands are finished, you will go to central metal atom. Right? After ligands, name central metal atom. After ligands, name central metal atom. Followed by central metal atom as such, no change. Cobalt ka cobalt, silver ka silver, iron ka iron, gold ka gold, chromium ka chromium. Whatever is the name of the central metal atom, name it, no problem. Followed by its oxidation state. Followed by its oxidation state, central metal atom's oxidation state in bracket, in Roman number. I hope you know Roman number, right? For example, if it is 1, oxidation state is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, right? If En is this and ETTA will be in same complex, then who will be named first? Ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine. En. Atharv En. Right? This is also called stock notation. Yes, very good, Tarun. It is also called stock notation in redox reactions. Now, I will use this to name one complex. All of you, please pay attention. So my complex is, let us say, this one, CONH34 BrCl. This is my complex plus 2 charge, let's say. This is my complex cation. I want to name it. So what will I name first? I will first name ligands. So what are my ligands? My ligands are, this is NH3, this is amine, double M. Neutral ligands are named as such. How do you know what is the name of which ligand? How do you know what is the name of which ligand? Yes, how do you know what is the name of which ligand? So come back here. We have discussed all of this here. Anionic ligands, what are their names? Right? Everything has been discussed. Amine, carbonyl, everything has been mentioned here. Right? So all of you, please see that. Right. So let me come back here. So I will name this. Now I'll name this compound. You have bromine or bromido, and you have chlorido. Which one should I name first? Which one should I name first in alphabetical order? Which one should I name first? Very good, Pratish. Amine, double M. Do not forget, double M. Amine. Amma in the room. Correct? Amma in. So amine followed by A comes first alphabetically, then B, then C. So after that, bromido. Then you will name chlorido. Now amine is repeated how many times? 4 times. Its name do not include di, tri, etc. So we can use prefix tetra. Tetra, amine, bromido, chlorido. Then central metal atom is what? Cobalt. What is the oxidation state of cobalt here? What is the oxidation state of cobalt here? We can find cobalt is X. Ammonia is a neutral ligand, so 4 into 0. Bromine is -1. Cl is -1 equal to +2. So cobalt will come out to be X -2 equal to +2, that is +4. So cobalt will come out to be +4. Right? Is that clear, everyone? Yes, everyone. Is it clear? Dorito? Pranav, what is Dorito? Yes. So now you'll write in Roman 4. You'll write Roman 4. Everything should be small, nothing capital in the naming. You'll not write anything capital. Now, important thing, please pay attention. Everything small, no gap. This complex should be no gap here. There should be no gap in the name. No gap. Everything small. Right? Yes. Is this clear, everyone? Oxidation state is 0. How oxidation state is 0? X -2 is equals to +2. It will be +4, no? Yes, Sakshi, I'll repeat. So first I named ligands. There are 3 ligands: amine, bromido, chlorido. A comes first alphabetically, so I named amine first. Then B comes, then C comes. So alphabetically I named bromido, then I named chlorido. Amine was repeated 4 times, so I wrote tetraamine. Then ligands are finished. After ligands, I named central metal atom, that is cobalt. Then I wrote its oxidation number. How do you find oxidation number? X plus 4 into amine is neutral ligand, 0 charge. Bromine is -1, Cl is -1 equal to +2. So when you found the oxidation number, it came out to be +4. Bracket when we wrote its oxidation number 4. This is your name. Right? Is it complete? Answer is no. Since it's a ion, there's a +2 charge. It's a cation. It's an ion. So whenever there is an ion, you'll add ion in the end. Whenever there is an ion, you'll write ion in the end. Right? If Br is 2 times, then we should write bi after amine. Yes. If there was 2 Br2 here, then I would have written tetraamine, dibromido, chlorido, cobalt. Is that clear, Pritesh? If oxidation number is 0, you'll simply write 0. Nothing else. Simply write 0 in parentheses. Right? We should not mention charge. We have mentioned oxidation state, no? Ravi Kiran. Why you should mention charge? We should simply write ion. That's all. Since it's an ion, you have to in the end write ion. This is how you name. This is how you name this compound. If 2 ligands start with same letter, then we should consider the second letter. Yes, Adesh, that's common sense. If 2 ligands start with the same letter, you should consider the second letter. Our alphabetical order does not include prefix, right? Yes, our alphabetical order does not include prefix. Right? Is that clear, everyone? No button, it should not. All right, so let's move ahead. So this is how you name a simple cation. This is how you name a complex cation. Right? These are the rules you have to follow. Now, after you name cation, should that ion be written in brackets? There is no bracket here. I have just shown it to explain you. There is no bracket here. Tarun. Now my second rule, my first rule was name cation first. Name cation first. What is my second rule? My second rule says name anion. Anion in last. Name anion in last. Right? Like cation, anion can also be of 2 types. What is that? It can be a simple anion. Simple anion means which is present outside the bracket. It's a complex anion. What is complex anion? which is present inside the bracket. I'll give you the example. If you take CONH3 Cl2, so here chloride is simple anion because it is present outside the bracket. So how do you name a simple anion? Like simple cation, right? We name simple cation. Simple anion is named as such. Simple anion is named as such. No change. As such, no change. For example, here Cl is written as chloride. Cl is written as chloride, not chlorine, chloride, Pritesh, it is Cl minus. It is Cl minus, and chlorine is Cl. Here it is Cl minus. So chloride. Okay? Now let me take an example of anion which is complex. Example is K4FeCN6. So in this case, you have 4K plus and FeCN6 minus. So now your anion is complex. Your complex anion. How to name this? How to name this? So rule number A, B, C, D, E. Everything same. So rule A, B, C, D. Same. No change. Same. No change. The change is in rule E. Central metal atom के name में you have to add 8 in the end. Then oxidation state in Roman. Then oxidation state in Roman. So earlier you were writing cobalt. In cationic complex you write cobalt. Oxidation state 2. Here you write cobaltate. Iron ka ferrate. So you have to add one suffix, that's all. So cobalt will be named as cobaltate only if you are anionic complex. Iron will be named as ferrate. Then what else? Silver will be named as argentate. Tin will be named as tannate. I'm giving you the complex one, not simple one. Then PB will be named as plumbate. Gold will be named as aurate. Then nickel will be named as nickelate. Chromium will be named as chromate, and so on. Just take the metal atom, add a suffix 8 in the end. That's the only change. Rest everything remains as such. I'll name one full complex. All of you please pay attention. Now I'm going to name this pura complex here. K4FeCN6. I want to name this pura complex. What should I name first? In this complex, there is a cation K plus, anion 4 minus. What should I name first? What should I name first? Cation. So I will name cation as potassium, not tetrapotassium. Simple cation and simple anion के लिए di-tri use नहीं करना है. Don't use di-tri. So potassium. Now this is finished. Now complex name should be together without any break, without any gap. So now what is your ligand? CN. So CN का ligand name is cyanido. This is a थोड़ा controversy. If you see textbook also कई जगह पे cyano लिया है, कई जगह पे cyanido लिया है. ठीक है? Textbook में ही 2-3 जगह पे you use cyanido. So hexa, now how many times it is repeated? 6 times. So you write hexa cyanido. Now iron. It's a anionic complex. Anionic complex. So in anionic complex, central metal atom के साथ you have to add suffix 8. So iron will be written as ferrate. Bracket में oxidation number. So what is the oxidation state of iron here? X. Let us write it separately. It will give you 4K plus and FeCN6 4 minus. So oxidation state of iron is X. Cn is 6 into -1 equal to -4. So x minus 6 is equals to minus 4. X is equals to 6 minus 4, which is plus 2. So oxidation state of iron is 2 in Roman. So ferrate 2. Is that clear, everyone? This is how you name this compound. Is that clear, everyone? Yes? Is it clear, everyone? This is the basic of nomenclature. Tomorrow I'll take some complex examples, right? And I'll tell you how to name ambidentate ligand. So for now, do this. I will upload this in homework. Also, you practice these examples and come tomorrow. Tomorrow beginning, we will discuss all these examples and come to the next topic. We'll discuss all these as homework tomorrow, right? I will upload them in your notes also. Tomorrow I'll take some more examples, different types, and I'll discuss these examples also. You can take down, you can take the screenshot. Tomorrow's timing will start at 5:30. From day after tomorrow, we'll start 5:15. So please take the screenshots if you want to take the screenshot. Tomorrow is 5:30. One. If you are a Avengers fan, I have a quiz from Avengers today, so you can wait. This is another one. Then this is another one. Yes, I'll show it again from the beginning. First, second, third, I'll show that, Sakshi, give me 1 minute. Fourth, fifth. Right, these 5 problems you can try. These are good ones. Right. So now let me give you one quiz. You can identify this person if you know Avengers very well and identify his role in Avengers Infinity War. It's not Steve Siddharth. Prashant is right. Identify this person and identify his role in Avengers. Yes, Sisa. Very good. It's not Captain America, Ina. Janvi is right. Finally. Chinmay, no. Yeah, Chinmay, right. Yes. All of you must know this guy. This guy, if you know Avengers, if you see Marvels very well, this guy is Stan Lee. He has written most of the Marvel comics. He played the role of a bus driver. He was a bus driver. In Avengers Infinity War, he was driving the bus on which Spider-Man was there. And he had only one dialogue in the movie. What's the matter with you kids? He was driving a school van. So what's the matter with you kids? Haven't you seen a spaceship before? Right? So he died. Correct. So this is Stan Lee. Very nice guy. You see Avengers because of him also. Only. Now, I told you I'll show you one image. Just give me 1 minute. Red book ka statement I will show you. Those who can stay back, please stay for 1 minute. That the class is over, guys. I'll show you one image of what do we say? Red book ka IUPAC statement, which will clear your doubt about chloro and chlorido. Many books still use this old nomenclature, so don't get confused by it. Just give me 1 minute. I will figure it out. I just need 1 minute. So if you can stay back, stay back. Just a minute. Yeah. Yes. So I will show it to you now. Yes. I think it is visible to you. This is a screenshot from Red Book. Red Book is a basically IUPAC ka book, which IUPAC releases every year whenever there is a controversial statement about any naming, right? So this is the chloro versus chlorido. So there were a lot of examples where this confusion was happening. So if you can see, I don't know whether I can write something on this, right? You can read, let me give you from the bottom, read 1, 2, 3, 4, just a minute, 1, 2, 3, ayyo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Read the 7th line from the bottom. The 7th line from the bottom, under the new recommendation, the phrase chloromethyl in a name would refer only one ligand. But chloromethyl would have been 2 ligands if you follow the old nomenclature. So what this red book says is, if there is a ligand in its own name, if there is some chlorine, then you will name it as chloro. For example, CH2Cl will be named as chloromethyl. But if Cl is directly bonded to metal atom, central metal atom, then you will name it as chlorido. Okay? So if Cl is directly bonded to central metal atom, then you will name it as a chlorido. But if there is some ligand which is bonded to central metal atom, and in that ligand chlorine is some part of it, but chlorine is not bonded to central metal atom. So there is a ligand in which chlorine is present, but chlorine is not bonded to central metal atom, right? Then that chlorine will be named as chloro. But if chlorine is directly donating lone pair to central metal atom, it will be named as chlorido, right? So for example, CH2Cl is named as chloromethyl. So if you see old nomenclature, chloromethyl would have been 2 ligands, chloromethyl. But in the current nomenclature, it is only one ligand, chloromethyl. Because if Cl is bonded to metal, it should be written chlorido. So to avoid this confusion, your red book, IUPAC releases this statement called red book in this book, right? So therefore, you can answer this, right? So you can take a screenshot, read it whenever you get time. This is a very important thing. You'll not see it in any book. This is a 2005 statement of IUPAC. If you go and read your textbook, in the bottom of your textbook left side, it is written 2004 recommendations of IUPAC. This is that recommendation of IUPAC. So that is only statement mentioned here. So this is a detailed explanation of that. You can read it, take a screenshot. The name of iron will depend upon its valency. No other, you write bracket में oxidation state, which will indicate whether it is ferrous or ferric. Other, you only write iron. You don't write ferric or ferrous because you are writing bracket में oxidation state. Tomorrow class up to 6:45 only, guys. Tomorrow class 5:30 to 6:45. Day after tomorrow, that is Thursday, we will have 5:15 se class. We'll try to take from 5:15, or else if not 5:15, we'll take it till 7. I will announce on your group. Okay? Notes will be uploaded now. Yes, I will upload it now only, sir. Otherwise, I will upload them now. That I also don't know, sir. You should check with them. Thank you, Shreyas, for ending the meeting. Thank you so much. I got a joke for you. Aluminium asked bauxite, who are you? Bauxite. I know this one, Mohit. I know this one, Mohit. I read it way before. No stress. That was the right thing to do, actually. Don't worry. I was knowing why you did that. Don't worry. What thing, Abhishek? What do you want me to tell? Yes. Thank you, Mohit. When new education policy, it will be implemented in 2022-23. That joke is I'll tell you. Athar 2022-23. That's the calculation. Up to 7 would be better, I guess. I'll take it up to 7, Pooja. Don't worry. I'll take it up to 7. So the joke was, aluminium asked bauxite, who are you? Bauxite told, teri or, teri or, teri or, teri or. Hai Rabba. That's a song basically from Singh is King movie. If you have watched that movie, right? Chalo, take care all of you. Enjoy Madi. Okay? If you have any other doubts from the test and all, you can message me. I'll reply back. Adesh, go ahead. It's a kind of joke, Prashant. It's a common one. I have heard it many times. So, bye Abhishek. Take care. Thank you, PK. Take care. Adesh, get lost. Get lost, Adesh. If you were in front of me, I would have given you so good blessings, you know. That's what I can say. Chal. Start studying, Adesh. This is more important. That will help you rather than thinking all this. Chalo. Take care, Adesh. Have a good day ahead. Bye, all of you. May God bless you all.